the Trapman Sportscast. This episode is called Blowout because that's exactly what the Eagles did to the Kansas City Chiefs. They flew ahead. Everybody on all the Commanders fans on um what is it, Instagram talking about fly Eagle fly. And I'm just sitting here cracking up because so I got a bone to pick because I thought Jalen Hurts' leg was hurt. I thought his knee was hurt or something like that. And so I feel like we were all played and set up because how? Like, okay, so the week before the Commanders game, right?
Hmm.
They came out and they said, yeah, Jalen Hurts, his knee is hurt. I said, oh, okay, his knee is hurt. Cool. We probably gonna win this game, right? Come game time, ain't nothing wrong with the nigga knee. The nigga's fine. Um, then, this Kansas City game, I saw him slide on the floor. So I was like, when was your knee hurt? So they played with all of us. They played with all of us and took themselves to a winning Super Bowl game. And I heard some comments beforehand from some of the reporters where it just sounded like the game was already going to be rigged in their favor. But lo and behold, Patrick Mahomes and them somehow scored 22 points when they were like, the score was like 46 by the end of the third quarter. It's like, what was it, 46? Something like that. But it wasn't 40 because they scored a field goal in the fourth quarter. But how did you feel about the overall game like turnout? Because that's my thoughts on it. I feel like we got played. I feel like they said that his knee was hurt. His knee wasn't actually hurt. There was actually nothing wrong with him. But they started that rumor to try to be funny. And so when the Commanders went into the game, I feel like they went into the game thinking, "Oh, he's a little injured." Or am I wrong? Because they all have inside information anyway, and I know they all talk amongst each other. They're all athletes. So I'm just trying to figure out when was his knee hurting at all, and why play like that, like to try to win a Super Bowl game.
Yeah. Um, I think the game was pretty good from a Philadelphia Eagles fan standpoint. Um, but I think I think the Eagles. There was a play at the onset of the game. It was when Jalen Hurts threw a pass to AJ Brown, but the pass didn't count. They call offensive pass interference, even though that penalty was against the Eagles, and even though they ended up punting that possession. When I saw how he like deboed the catch on homie. It's like even though it didn't count, it's like when John Morant dunks on somebody, but it don't count. It's like it don't count, but it changed the momentum. Like it was one of those moments where it was like ooh, and it was early, and it's like hey, there's no stat for that, but he just outmanned them, and I felt like Philly. It was just so many moments early in the game where whether the play counted or didn't count, it's just Philly just out physical, out man, out athlete. They look like they were a different caliber, faster, stronger. That's what they look like, and
Hmm.
that's what they played like. And then once they started getting the ball in the end zone, it's like they didn't stop. And then they even the white boy had an interception. A white boy playing corner. You know what I mean? You know he got to be good.
It was a good game from that perspective and all. I mean, I was just annoyed because I was just like, why are people not scoring? Like, why are the Chiefs not scoring at all? But in all honesty, I kind of knew it was gonna be a semi blowout. I just didn't know how bad it would be because I feel like when's the last time they actually played them? Was it 23 or am I wrong?
That's
The
a good
last Super
question.
Bowl that they played them because last year, yeah,
Oh,
it
two
was
years ago.
2023. Yeah. And that game was pretty like intense. It was close, right?
Hmm.
I think it was like 38-34 or something like that, the final score. Kansas City
Hmm.
won that one. So I expected it to be more of a competitive game from that standpoint, or I expected like, both teams maybe not to score, maybe it to be more of a defensive game, but it was just like they was just walking on them. Like Patrick Mahomes was throwing interceptions, and then like it was people on the sideline crying. Like, did you see that? Did you see those niggas on the sideline crying? And I was like, are y'all crying? Crying? Like, I mean, I get it. But like, what did y'all think y'all were walking into? Like, did you think you were walking into a game where it was gonna be like, oh yeah, I let them get up a few points and then I come back? Because I've seen them do that before in several games. Um, I don't know what the Chiefs thought they were walking into, but it was a massive blowout. It was entertaining to watch. I'm mad they didn't do enough. They didn't do enough dancing for me. The Eagles wasn't doing enough dancing for me. I didn't watch the last part of the quarter. I think the last 5 minutes of the game, I turned it off because I was like, all right, bro, whatever. But it was a good game overall. I enjoyed it for what it was. I think
Yeah,
going forward, people just know don't play with the Eagles, and if you hear any injury reports that aren't true, just don't listen to them. Because I got excited. I was like, oh, my commander's about to take them down. Nope. Mm-mm. They got blown out just as well, just as bad. But I just don't understand why they let them score at the end. Like, why not just let it be a blowout? Because like that would have been super historic. Like if
bro.
they had actually like beat them by like 40 or 50 points, and like they had scored no points, like that would have been a massive like thing. That would have been a massive scale to follow.
Yeah, I think human nature just kicked in and they just started giving a little effort. Like just, what I mean, just naturally.
Hmm.
Because I think it's not even about effort at that point. It's you hit the point in the game where like, yo, we're actually about to win the Super Bowl. Like I'm pretty sure like from the time it got to be like 20 to something, I feel like players on the Philadelphia Eagles themselves were playing in shock. Like it's like you had half a game left in time, but the game had already been decided. So it's like you can see they even have to contain themselves to continue to play. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I spent like an hour just being happy for them. Like you could see them niggas was like it was like a happiness fest,
Hmm.
which is funny because imagine being a player in the Kansas City Chiefs and you trying to come back and the nigga against you is crying but you playing football, he already crying. He like you just like you trying to come back and he already got tears in his eyes. Like because he happy he won already. That's
Right.
demoralizing. Like nigga, don't cry in front of me when you supposed to be tackling me.
I'm
Like,
crying. I'm crying right
so
now.
I feel like that's how Kansas City scored them points for at the end of the game. Just like niggas was zone in another zone. Like nigga, score all you want to. Like what city is it in? New Orleans. Okay,
New
so they can
Orleans.
party tonight.
Right.
They can
That
party
was
tonight.
that was a crazy game. It was one point where like the camera went to Patrick Mahomes. This is before they started scoring any points. And he just looked at the camera and he went, and I'm like, oh, okay, you still got your joy. All right, because you look like you was about to cry while you was on the field. All that pressure on him.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
then, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, please, please.
Oh yeah. So that happened. It was a few little joyous like comments that were made like throughout the game. Like I mean, well, I didn't like when the announcer went, "Oh yeah, like how were they able to find Kevin Hart in the crowd?" I was like, "Why would you say that?" Did you hear that? Like the commentary was crazy.
Yeah,
Like throughout the game, the commentary was wild. I was just like, "Okay, why would you say that about that guy?" But um hmm. I don't know. I don't know if Travis Kelsey is going to be able to retire now. Like, I mean, I think he wanted that last ring. He was talking about he wanted to retire.
yeah, he was looking sad.
But shout out to what's his name? Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, AJ Green, all them niggas on the Eagles. Congratulations, y'all won. Proud of y'all. Not happy you beat my Commanders, but I'm over it now. So it's settled in a little bit. Um, yeah, congratulations to Eagles fans. Y'all won another Super Bowl. That's great.
And another one.
Awesome. And another one. But let's get to the main event because this Super Bowl was black as hell. Like, be for real. Like,
It was the blackest Super Bowl of all time.
it was. Like, I literally posted that on my story. I was like, this is the blackest Super Bowl of all time. Because Kendrick Lamar came out and did a crazy halftime performance. Had Samuel Jackson, you know, he got his
Big
girl
one.
Sis up there on stage. I mean,
Yeah,
it's cool that
I
everybody
keep
rock with SZA,
myself.
but at the same time, she that was real. That's real
And
messed up how she doing
she
Drake, but I'm done. And she was lip singing. She should have sung it out loud. Let's hear your voice, sis. Let's hear your voice crack. But it was a great performance overall. I enjoyed it. We was dancing the whole time. We started crip walking. It was fun. It was really fun.
Let's see your crib walk. Let's see your crib walk.
Nah,
Let's
nah,
see
nah,
your
nah,
crib walk.
nah, 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 nah.
Oh
I gotta
no,
be, I
let's
gotta
see.
be, I gotta be in the mood. Like I gotta be in the zone. Like I gotta be in the zone. But yeah, I surprised myself. I was like, oh, okay, I'm actually crip walking now.
You
Yeah.
banging.
Yeah. I was banging. I was,
Okay.
throwing everything, throwing up signs and there.
Oh no,
And
not that.
so I go to look on well, let's talk about the highlights of the what was your favorite part of the performance? I think I liked when he kept like playing around, teasing the not like us part. Cause I was like, cause everybody was like the whole time, is he gonna do it? Is he gonna do it? Is he gonna do it? And then he actually did it. And then like, cause people really
He
thought he wasn't gonna
super did
perform
it.
the song. I was like, why wouldn't he perform the song? You said
Yeah,
what?
not only did he do it, he like super did it.
Yeah, like it was really disrespectful. But it was a fun performance to watch. He gave different highlights, different songs. Did the Be Humble song, Squabble Up, of course. What do we have? The little song from Black Panther, All the Stars. And, went back into the mustard. I think that was my favorite part when he went, mustard. Because all of us in the we was like, mustard. I was like, bro, it was lit. Um, SZA was underwhelming for me, but it was cool to see her on stage with him. I'm glad that she got to get that platform. I like, seeing black faces on platforms. So that was cool. The Serena, that was my part. That was my part. The Serena Williams crip walking.
Okay.
Did you see that?
What you? Yes. What did you like about it?
I don't know. It was just cool. She was just like randomly on the side crip walking, and I'm just like, oh, okay. It's just Serena Williams crip walking randomly on the side, and she was on her Instagram getting ready for the performance. So I don't know if everybody knew she was going to be out there, but it was cool to see Serena Williams out there crip walking. I mean,
She went hard.
huh?
She went hard.
Yeah, it
Crib
was
walking
hard.
at the Super Bowl, and you, Serena. You like one of the world's like,
Yeah, like the
yeah,
best tennis star ever. Like
yeah,
the greatest of all time in tennis. Like crip walking on stage to a Kendrick Lamar song. It's crazy.
yeah.
It was wild. It was just it was cool. I liked it.
It's
I
different.
liked how he
Yeah.
started with the blue is that a blue Dodger? I think it was. I'm not sure. I gotta go back and look
GNX.
at the car. What kind of car was it?
I thought it was a GNX.
GNX. Oh, okay. Yeah, it was. Look at me. I don't know my cars. Don't mind me. But yeah, so that was cool. Uh, yeah. So I want to get into like, do you have any feedback on the show at all? Like any parts that you actually enjoyed?
In terms of the performance,
Yeah.
I enjoyed the whole performance. I thought it was the greatest halftime show I've ever seen.
What was your highlight?
Not like us.
Not like us. You thought it was better than the Bruno Mars Beyonce halftime show?
Yeah.
Hmm, cool.
The
Um,
reason the reason I think so is because he kept it so like
Himself.
the impact of him saying he said Drake's name. And the fact that he's getting sued, he's not getting sued directly, but
Hmm.
like the fact that
I
it
thought he
led to
dropped a
everything,
lawsuit.
I don't know. But
Oh.
I Kendrick also won all them Grammys last week.
Hmm.
Like it was just like, yo, it was a real in your face moment right there.
Hmm. It
Like,
was. It was
and
disrespectful.
it was at the Super Bowl, so it's like it's almost like disregarding like the fact that you got the Super Bowl because it's like whatever. I don't even care about the platform. I told you it's up, and he kept it. He kept it stuck at the Super Bowl.
Hmm.
For real.
DC Super said made a comment um that was kind of alarming to me. I don't know if you know who that is. I'm gonna call him a community guy. Anyway, he commented and said, "Worst Super Bowl performance of all time. Kendrick is too much of a niche artist and didn't appeal to a national audience. They need to stop letting Jay Z pick the halftime show."
Who said that?
A black man from
Wow.
DC,
What's up with him?
and there's people on here arguing right now. But yeah, he kind of like doubled down on it. He was like, "Yeah, on the rap charts, this was not a hip hop crowd." I know this is a sports show, but we're covering Kendrick Lamar tonight, guys, because these comments were kind of alarming. Like, it was just like, what do y'all want? Like, do you want black people on stage or do you not? Because with the climate of everything that's going on right now with Trump in office and all, like, that's like the last thing I feel like anybody should be saying. I feel like people need to be more aware of like the overall, like, just what's the word? Not even perception, like just be aware of the environment, like that's of everything that's going on. Like, why would you say, oh, worst Super Bowl, he didn't appeal to a national audience? Like, do you think that people do in the back in the day did Super Bowl halftime shows to appeal to a black audience?
Yeah.
Like, no, like, so if he wants to do something to appeal to his people, I feel like there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I just don't, it just seemed a little off because it's just like, why would you say that? And like with all the comments that have been going around just recently, all these people coming out the closet, George Lopez saying things like, oh, well, the only things in a Spanish household or Latino household, don't park in front of our house and don't date a black person is just ridiculous. And it's just like it's a lot of that going on right now. So I don't know if people notice like the climate of what's going on. And it's not everybody, like at all. Like, but like to say like, oh, worst Super Bowl halftime show, like the guy was rapping live. I mean, I don't know, they lip sync everything, but I thought it was a good performance for the Super Bowl. Everybody seemed to enjoy it. I watched some influencers pages on Instagram. They seem to enjoy it. I don't know.
Yeah, I will say leading up to the Super Bowl, I thought it was the least amount of juice I've ever felt going into a Super Bowl. Um,
You
but
felt
the
like it wasn't
game,
promoted well?
no, I feel like it was promoted heavily. I just feel like I didn't hear that many people like really talk like going hard about the Super Bowl like you usually
That's fair.
do. That could just be me though.
But it was a overall, like it was a great performance. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching the Super Bowl. Like I said, shout out to the Eagles. They played with all of us and they won and I'm proud of them, you know. It takes a lot to get out there on that field and to take all those hits, all those sacks and everything, and to just run. And it's a lot. It's a hard game. Like it's a hard game. So shout out to everyone that participated in it. Football season is over now. Other than I guess the national football, what is it? They got something else coming up in March.
The UFL.
There you go. Thank you so much. United Football League. Sorry. Okay. So, If you tune in for that, cool. I'm probably not because it's basketball season now. So, you know what that means. The next conversation we're leading into. So I have a question. Houston, we have a problem. What is happening with the Rockets? So I did a little bit of research looking at their last 5 games compared to their overall games, and the numbers don't really look too different at all. Um, their turnover, they're averaging 13.4 turnovers within the last 5 games over the season, 13.8. Field goal percentage 43.1 over the season, 44.8. So that's gone down within the last 5 games. Um, we can get into 3-point percentage. The 3-point percentage has went down from 34.2 for the season average to 32.3 over the last 5 games. They're averaging 106 points compared to the 113 for the season. And let me see. Free throw percentage went down as well, but it was only by like 2 points. And yeah, what is happening with the Houston Rockets? Because I see them playing these games and they've been playing hard, but only to an extent. And it seems like when Sengun went out, like they kind of started losing and then he tried to come back in. But I feel like he came back in too early because then he got injured again today in the game. So he's probably going to be out a little while longer. And, he tried to play through that injury. I watched him do that and I was like, what are you doing? You cannot play like that. Like he started if you watch the game, it was in the first quarter, he started walking funny. And he tried to continue playing and I was like, that's not okay. And the coach had to pull him
Yeah,
out. And I understand that like you want to win for the team and you want to help the team, but y'all have lost like 5 in a row. Like, bruh, if y'all are tired, I know that you've commented before and you were saying like people are tired, they're waiting on the all-star break so they can regroup, re-energize and get ready for playoff season. But it's just disappointing because I think about a week ago, I was just like they were on this big run, and now it's like they're kind of like all the way like they're falling. They're falling. They're falling off like, and it's just really irritating to see from that standpoint because I feel like they were really putting in that work, and the guys are still trying. Um, Jalen Green is still shooting when he can. I mean, just forget all that. The game
well,
today was horrible. It was a low scoring game. It was a terrible game. I hated watching it. It was really bad. They were up to like 32 points, both teams by like the second quarter, end of the second quarter. Like it was ridiculous. So the Houston Rockets ended up winning today, if I'm not mistaken. But it was just a horrible overall game. So I mean, what do you think is going on with them? Do you think they're just tired? What do you think is going on?
um, like I always say, it's an 82 game season, and I think it's great. It was a great game for the Houston Rockets in this only tiny aspect, besides obviously the W. It's good to know that you can win ugly games, because in the playoffs, games are going to be low scoring. This is a team that likes to run. Come playoff time, won't be a lot of running, and sometimes the games will be low scoring, bad shooting, a lot of mistakes. But as you can see, the first quarter, Toronto won 22-18. The second quarter, Toronto won 20-19. But then in the third quarter, Toronto scored 21, Houston scored 21. Then in the fourth quarter, Toronto scored 24, Houston scored 36. So basically, can you put 3 quarters of bad basketball behind you and come through when it matters most? And they did that. Like you said, it was a horrible game. And what's even more frightening for Houston, it was a close game against a bad team. But I
The
think
Raptors.
it's also a reminder for Houston, who is a young team. Any team can give it to you on any night. Don't loaf. You don't got to. You can't just say, "Oh, you the Raptors and you've lost 37 games already. No, the Raptors will bust your ass if you're not focused. And it's a reminder that good teams in the playoffs will bust your ass even worse. Like imagine if you had this type of mental lapse against a team like Dallas, like when AD come back. Like you saw Anthony Davis on Saturday. If that version of Anthony
Yeah.
Davis is on the Mavs and Houston has a lapse like this, they're gonna get crushed. Actually, Houston played them yesterday.
Yeah,
They did that
They did
against
play
he
them.
did yeah,
Yeah,
so what
so actually, yeah, so we could jump into that next. So the Houston Rockets played the Dallas Mavericks, and I'm telling you, so I worked yesterday, and I'm at work, right? Yo, I seen Anthony Davis throw that lob to Daniel Gafford. Yo, I screamed. I was like, bruh, they are not rocking with him. They're not rocking with the Mavericks. And I think I texted you and I was like, I texted you and my other friend and I was like, yo, like Mavs is taking it. Mavs is taking it. Because I mean, just that big man just being on there, like you got Gafford, Anthony Davis, and now you also have PJ Washington. Who else on their team is really big? I feel like I'm missing someone. Derek Lively, but he's injured right now. So I mean, just having all those big men on the floor, Dallas is looking sweet right now. Dallas is looking sweet now. Anthony Davis is not gonna be injured like Luka Doncic all the time. He's gonna play a high percentage of his games. So I mean, when Houston is going up against people like that with bigs, because a friend of mine they were just like, oh well, they need Sengun on the floor, and I'm like. I mean, I get it, but like, why is Steven Adams always injured, or Steve Adams, whatever his name is? Why is he like? What is? I just I need them to pull it together because I was really rooting for them. Like they were like my third favorite team, and it's just kind of disappointing to just see them having a lower than 41% shooting field goal percentage. It's just wow to me. I don't. That game yesterday against the Mavericks was terrible. Like they played terribly. Did you watch it?
yesterday's game against Dallas and Houston.
Yeah, I watched the whole game. It was terrible. Like for them.
Um one thing that I wanted to go back to when you asked were the Houston Rockets tired after I realized yesterday's game too. So that's great to know. They played a back to back. So they played yesterday and they played today. Um, I will
I think
say
they
that
played three back to backs.
I won't, which that would be crazy. But I will say that yeah, I think a lot of teams are tired. Especially the teams that are really. If you notice, the teams that we can recognize are tired are all teams that are either one or two in their conference. So like Memphis, Boston, and Houston, and I think that's because they did all their work early. You see a lot of teams making dramatic trades because they're trying to catch up, but teams like Houston, teams like Memphis, and teams like Boston, they've been losing games recently that they shouldn't. But that's because they all got like 30 plus wins heading into the All Star break. And so I think they're going to come back focused after the All Star break, all the good teams, because I think it's truly up for grabs. Like, I think you can say, oh, I think Team A or Team B will win the championship, but I think it's really for the taking right now because I can. There's about 8 teams combined, East and West Coast. I don't know if it's 4-4 equally, but I know there's a combination of about 8 teams that if they win the championship, I could see, you know, like I could see how you get there. Um, Usually, most years, it's like only one or two teams that you can think like that. But I feel like I can make a case, like just throwing a random team out there. If you told me the New York Knicks won the NBA championship this year, I could see it. Like for any team,
Not no, not after how they play Boston the other day.
I could see it. I think also if somebody said the Memphis Grizzlies won the championship, like if OKC, if you say OKC won the championship, if you say Denver won, like if you say Boston won, like Cleveland, I could see all those teams. I could even I think the limit of how far my imagination can go is like the Milwaukee Bucks. Like that's
But the Bucks have
like
been playing well, even without Giannis. Even without
yeah.
Giannis,
But
they've
I think
still
the
been
idea,
playing well. They're putting their back into it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I'm
the
saying I
yeah,
wouldn't be surprised if they won a championship, but that's like the farthest I go.
I understand that. How do you feel about the Nuggets?
I said I think the Nuggets could win a championship.
Okay, you do.
Yeah, I said that. I said that before I said the Bucks.
Okay. Um, I don't know. As far as Houston goes, they need more plays offensively that actually work. They need to work on their shooting. And this is just overall, like over
Definitely
watching
need
them
to
over
work
the
on their
season.
shooting.
Yeah, it's really
Definitely,
like ridiculous to watch.
that's this. So I don't, obviously they got the season left, the playoffs, but one thing going into next year, because I know the trade deadline is passed, going into next season, the Houston Rockets do need to improve their outside shooting dramatically. That will open up a lot more space and opportunity for Amen Thompson. If you have more 3-point shooters and the floor was spread, he can then take his defender one on one and get to the basket every time with
So
more spacing.
yeah, so let me say this real quick because I watched the game earlier and I don't know if there's tension going on between the team, but Dylan Brooks got like the first 10 points of the game and all of a sudden, not Amon Thompson, but Holiday, Drew Holiday, his brother, I don't know what his name is, I forgot. Do you know his name? Top of your head. Anyway, Holiday and Jalen Green decided to continually try to shoot three pointers and drive to the basket while Dylan Brooks had a hot hand and was wide open. And that's what irked me as well about that game earlier. If we're gonna go on a playoff run, the chemistry gotta be set in stone. Y'all can't be not feeling each other for the day or, all that young nigga stuff. Like, we can't be doing that if we're going for a playoff run with the Houston Rockets. Dylan Brooks had a hot hand. They were not passing him the ball. And he went like this several times. Like, it was a lot of decisions that were made. I don't know if the coach, when all this was happening, I don't know if he called a timeout. And I'm like, okay, maybe he's gonna tell them pass the ball to Brooks right now. He has a hot hand. I don't know if it's because Brooks has had a hot head in the past few games because he gets into it with everybody. He does. We've seen it. I don't know what the issue is, but the chemistry needs to be fixed on their team too. Because that not passing the ball to somebody who's shooting and you're trying to shoot and you're not shooting the ball, like you're not making the shots, that doesn't work. That just, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work when you play an actual good team. You're playing the Raptors and playing like trash and not passing the ball to someone who's has a hot hand at the moment. That's crazy to me. So that got to be nipped in the bud immediately. Immediately. Not passing the ball to a teammate is crazy. And I watched a little segment earlier with the little football games that they was doing, and they had Angel Reese on there. And what she said to Kai Sinat, she said, "Yo, like, you have to play as a team. You got to pass the ball. That not passing the ball and somebody has a hot hand, y'all have to play for each other. You are a team. Like, I'm just not with all that. I hate when NBA players do that. Like, that's crazy."
I can feel that. I can feel that 100%.
Moving along, we talked about Anthony Davis and his debut and then him getting injured, which was very sad for me. It was very disappointing to see that. I was very excited, but I think he will be playing in that game against the Lakers on the 25th. I don't know when Dallas plays again, but he had like a stomach injury, I think. You didn't
Okay.
you didn't see the game, did you?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Which game? Which game? Hold on. Which game?
The game yesterday. Cause
It was a.
Dallas and Houston
Oh
Rockets.
yeah,
Cause he had like
yeah, yeah,
49 PRA.
yeah. PER. Oh, no, you said PRA.
No,
You talking about
PRA,
from the
points,
score?
rebounds, and
Yeah,
assists. Yeah.
yeah.
He
My
had
fault.
like
My fault.
49 and then he had to sit because he got injured. Very
I'm
sad
sorry. I'm reading.
moment. Hmm?
I was reading about the football game, but no,
No,
yeah,
you
we
good.
talked. Yeah, yeah. I saw that game. We talked about it. I think they say Anthony Davis gonna be out for a few weeks,
Hmm.
so I think that's all. I think low key Anthony Davis getting hurt made the Lakers not play Luka yesterday because I think
Because
in reality, if Anthony
wait,
Davis was still with,
their game was like an hour apart though.
no, I'm saying like him getting hurt, I'm
Mhm.
thinking probably influenced him not playing Luca. And here's what I mean. Here's why I say this. I think if Anthony Davis was still with the Lakers, he probably wouldn't have played today. I think he played specifically because he got traded, like kind of like with the Sengun thing. Like you probably, let's say he needed is smarter than that he would have had an extra week, but instead he probably pushed it up early. I want to show the Lakers what they missing. Blah blah blah.
Well, I don't think it had anything to do with that. I think it was more so the protesting about Doncic and everything that was going on. Because even my dad called me and he was like, "Yeah, like they're protesting against the Mavericks and they're upset and da 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 da." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And then there was like what was it? People like a lot of people like are switching sides because they traded Luca. Like a lot of like sports fans that I follow and things, they're like, "Oh, well, I'm going to go follow the Lakers now because I don't want to follow the Mavericks anymore because they traded Luka Doncic," which is just weird. And what was it? God damn it. I didn't write it down. Um he also it was a debut game for him. I feel like it was a good thing for him to play so he can kind of show the fans like what he can actually do. So I felt like that was a smart move for him to play yesterday. And I also feel like he gave them some tidbits on their offense and things that they can do better. I saw Klay Thompson, he was shooting like, he normally shoots his threes and he just chills in the back, he just nah, I think Anthony Davis went in there and kind of told them, "Yo, like you need to do this, you need to do that." Cuz Klay Thompson was driving a lot to the basket yesterday, and I don't normally see him do that. So I was like, I think he definitely went in there and said, "Okay, let's format this so that it works for all of us to play together." And worked with the coach, and they just came out and had a really good game. And yeah, it was against Houston, who's not playing well right now. So I would like to see how they play going up against a team that is playing well right now. Somebody like a OKC. You see what I'm saying? Which brings me to the next. Do you have any more commentary on that?
No, I'm with you on
No.
all that.
Okay. So brings me to the next conversation, which was who played? It was Chet Holmgren played with OKC the other day. Did you get a chance to check out that game at all or highlights?
No, but I did see that Chet had like 4 blocks in that game.
Yeah, he was out there getting to it. He was out there getting to it. They had him and Hartenstein on the floor and they look really good. Um Now, I guess he's gonna be playing like every other game right now. They do have three center. Well, he Chet's a four, but um, let's just say he can play center too. So they have three big men, right? They got Jalen, and then they have Hartenstein and Chet. So did you see the OKC game yesterday against the Grizzlies?
They played against the Grizzlies yesterday. Yeah, because they beat the.
Hmm.
Yeah, they beat the
Yeah,
Grizzlies.
that was a struggle game for the Grizzlies. It was a lot
But
going
see,
on with that. It was a
that's an
lot going on with that.
acceptable.
Jared and
That's an
Hartenstein was going
acceptable
at it.
struggle.
Uh,
No, I'm saying that's an acceptable struggle game.
Okay.
Like OKC versus the Grizzlies. You feel me? Like team number 1 versus team number 3. That's way different than Houston struggling against the Toronto Raptors. Like
Yeah.
That's inexcusable. They're not on your level. Like if you can't handle the Raptors, how you gonna handle OKC or Memphis? Because OKC and Memphis they playing each other close, but you playing the Raptors close, big dog. Like come on, what's going on?
That
Like
was a
make that
wild
make
game, though.
sense.
Hartenstein and Jared
Nah,
Jackson Jr. was going at it. I was like, okay, it's about to be a little fight on the floor. It's a little competition going on. I enjoyed that game a lot. It was very fun to watch. Them beating up on the Grizzlies like that. John Morant couldn't shoot. It was just a lot going on.
yeah, it was a lot going on, and your
Mm.
boy Shea, as always, big game, 32 points,
Did you see
eight
Wiggins though?
assists.
Did you see
Yeah,
Wiggins
twenty
falling
six
through for the team?
points,
Yeah, like
eight
my
for
guy is
13.
a beast out there.
Eight, yeah, 8 out of 13 from three,
Hmm.
11 rebounds, plus 15, plus minus. Um, Hartenstein 2 blocks, Shea 2 blocks, Jalen Williams had a block.
Jalen Williams,
Um,
the four, or J Dub. J Dub was going off last night. I was
J
like,
Dub
J
25
Dub,
points,
come through. Because remember, we were saying J
six.
Dub need to step up. J Dub
Yep,
stepped up because listen, Shea Gilgis Alexander, he is tired of carrying the team on his back. If you look at his face, like I've seen him play with joy. Looks tired. Tired, tired, tired. He's tired of carrying the team on his back. I was so, so glad that they stepped up the way that they did. I was. I was. Now Hartenstein could have done a little bit more, but it's okay. It's all good. Just watching the way that the game played out, from that perspective. Um, yeah, Shay's tired of carrying the team on his back. Lou Dort was out, so they didn't have him on the defense. They played a good game. Jalen Williams, J Dub really stepped up. I was really proud of him in that game.
I agree with you. Um, and I think to that point, when they do give Shea help and everybody contributes like they did yesterday, you can see what they can do to other good teams. A complete blowout.
Hmm.
So this is just a small glimpse of what OKC looks like when everything's clicking. And what's even scarier is it's not the full picture because imagine when Chet Holmgren comes back and he's healthy, and then he's also back into the flow and clicking too with them. They're gonna be a dangerous team. It's almost like Chet Holmgren coming back is like trading for a new player,
Hmm.
almost, because they've been so good without him. So then when you get him, it's gonna be even crazier.
Yeah, they're gonna have to integrate him back in, and they're doing it
Slowly.
slowly. And I really like that they're doing it slowly because it gives him a
Yeah.
chance to get his confidence back, to manage his health and everything properly. Because they're always like he just wants to play, he just wants to play. We understand that shit. You got to take your time coming back in because we can't have you coming back in like Sengun, and then you just
Or
get
like
injured
AD,
again.
or like AD, or like
Yeah.
Luca.
Hmm.
Like you just gotta wait,
Yeah. But
because
they're
you
gonna
rather
be.
wait than come back early and then get hurt again and then be out longer.
Yeah, they're gonna be like a force to be reckoned with. I'm very excited for what OKC is gonna do to the league going forward. Um,
Okay, I got an underrated player of the week. I know you. I know last week, like the player you was talking about was Wiggins. So I think a player that I got to look out for is Jalen Duren.
oh no,
Again
Jalen
today, he
Duran's a
had
beast.
16 points, 12 rebounds,
Hmm.
six assists. But one thing about Jalen Duren, he's going to control the boards. He's going to get some rebounds.
No,
One thing about
Jalen
him,
Duran is a
he,
rebounding machine. I bet on him quite
he
frequently.
he averages 10 rebounds a game. Oh, and quietly he's averaging 11 points a game too. So I
Hmm.
like Jalen Duren as a player. I want to say that the same way you feel about Wiggins, I think I feel that way about Jalen Duren. Yeah, he's definitely like one of the players that like if I'm Detroit, him, Kay Cunningham,
Yeah,
I
they're
know I'm
like
building around those two.
it's not giving Kobe and Shaq, but it's giving like a lot for me with them. Like I really like how they play together.
Yeah, because
When they play
even
well.
Yep, big caveat. Because Kay Cunningham today had 19 points, 12 assists, 10 rebounds. He had a triple double.
Hmm.
Um,
I didn't get to watch that game.
not me
The
either, but
they
yeah,
played the Hornets if I'm not mistaken.
yeah.
Because I thought LaMelo Ball was gonna play and then he wasn't playing, and I was just like, dang, who won that game? Did Detroit win or did the Hornets win?
Detroit won by 10.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, Kay had a triple double. Jalen Durant had a double double, and then the Short
Oh,
Thompson had 16 and 8.
speaking of the Hornets, did you know that they rescinded the trade between Mark Williams and Dalton Necht?
Yeah, yeah. I think that's a blessing in disguise for the Lakers that they
Yeah.
get to keep Connect.
They said that they
Yeah.
found some things. They said it wasn't his back problems, but they said that they found some
Mm,
things that
okay.
were
'Cause
wrong with that were wrong
no,
with
no, no.
Mark Williams on his health report, and they said, "Yeah, nah, we can't take him." I was just like, "Dang, what did y'all find? Lord, it must have been
No,
bad."
no. It must have been. 1 second.
Mhm.
I'm still here.
No, you're fine. But it must have been really bad because I was just like, goodness gracious, a rescinded trade is crazy, you know? So I was trying to figure out what exactly did they find for them to send him back to the Hornets like that. And then it was a whole conversation around, well, how are we going to apologize to Dalton for trading him and letting him know, like, we do value him, we do care about him, you know? And I'm like, well, I mean, he has to play with the coach, and I don't think the coach traded him. It was just the organization overall. So, I think he'll be fine. He'll integrate right back into the Lakers as before. And now we actually have our three white boys that can go up against the Boston white boys.
Yeah, they still paying him. So everybody, let's hold our horses in terms of how they gonna apologize. They're going to pay him his multi-million-dollar salary, and he's going to play basketball. Like, come on now.
Who are you
If he was
pulling
a
up?
star, if he was a star player, of course that would be a question like, oh man, how are you going to act? But bro, you're a rookie, all right? Like, I'm
But
no
he's
one's
a
even.
rookie. But he's a rookie that's productive when he's on the floor,
Yeah, yeah, and they weren't trading him for a ham sandwich. They were trading him for another good player. Um,
right?
so it's just like because if you could also tell them we traded you, but you had value to the Charlotte Hornets. They would have loved to have Lamelo Ball. What's the homie who got injured? Brandon Miller,
Miles
Miles
Bridges.
Bridges,
Brandon
and
Miller,
Connect on
isn't
the
he
floor.
injured right now, I think, because he hasn't
Yeah, for the
played.
rest of the season, his
Yeah.
wrist. He getting his wrist
Oh.
done.
Oh, damn. Oh, no.
I don't know if it's the shooting wrist or the other wrist, but I just know he his wrist.
Yeah, because they're playing Nick Richards, right? No, no, he plays.
Yeah.
What's the
So
guy's name? Nick something. Whatever his name is. Anyway, they've been playing him and he's been averaging a nice amount of points as well per game.
that's what I'm saying. So like, if you can imagine, they think to themselves, okay, we get Brandon Miller back next year. We got Miles Bridges. We got Lamelo Ball, and then we add Dalton Connect. So I really don't gotta. I don't have to cheer him up
Mhm.
because it's not. This wasn't like a. Some trades are like an insult, but this trade was
Yeah.
like you can see the Lakers needed a big man.
Mhm.
You the odd man out. They just got Luka Doncic and LeBron. Like they need a center. But now I think they'll be fine.
Well, they were
Even
saying
still.
that their centers aren't the centers they have now aren't good for like playoff runs as far as that. I don't
I,
know. I'm gonna be very honest. I watch the Lakers. I don't watch them that much. And when I was watching them, Anthony Davis and LeBron were getting most of the rebounds. So I really dislike the fact that we have centers in the league that don't get the rebounds. It's kind of like pointless to me. It's like, why are you a center?
I think with Connect and LeBron and Austin Reeves and Luca, I think they're gonna score so much. I think they're gonna score so much that it may negate the need of a center.
Hmm. I think they'll be good though going forward.
Yeah.
Since we did talk about the Detroit Pistons briefly. I wanted to bring it right back because I believe they played the Cleveland Cavaliers the other day, and also Amin Thompson got a slide for his brother Osser. Um, I don't know if you saw that play or that clip when I didn't get to watch the game. So I saw a clip. Jared Allen screened Osser, but he pushed him down in the process. And then when the teammates came over, to confront him, it was a oh. And I'm just like, dude, you're like a big man. You're older. Why did you do that to that boy? That was a big bully move, and I just don't think that I would ever expect to see that from Jared Allen. But at the same time, they were like, "Well, he's establishing like don't play with me," and I'm like, "Listen, like you can do that all you want. That was a bully move. Like that was straight up bullying. Like I didn't like how he did that to him. I didn't like that at all. Like that kind of pissed me off, in all honesty, to see him do something like that.
Yeah,
As big as you are, as strong as you are."
I agree.
I mean, I just don't understand how that was okay.
Yeah, they don't really need that type of stuff anymore, honestly.
I mean, trying to establish yourself. They said that he was mad about a lot of the ref calls. My brother,
Play
please,
better.
like you wear the afro, wear it with honor. Do not do that. Like, please don't ever do that again. Like, Lord, like you're not Dylan the villain. You are Jared Allen. Like it just I don't know, that kind of like pissed me off. Like so next time the Rockets play the Cavaliers, Almond got a slide for his brother.
Mm,
Almond got a slide for his brother because that wasn't right. I didn't like it.
facts.
If I can post that clip on here without getting a strike, I will definitely do that. But moving along, the game of the day for me today was the Milwaukee Bucks and played the Philadelphia 76ers.
I
And
saw.
Joel Embiid, you did see that one?
Yeah, I saw some of that
Yeah, Joel Embiid, Paul George, and Tyrese Maxey got to play together. I think this is the second time in the season that all three played together. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but believe that's to be true. So the game was a nice little back and forth between the two teams. Kyle Kuzma, I feel like he's playing way better than he did on the Wizards because he has something to play for now. He had a nice game. Damian Lillard had what 41 points. How many points did he have? Do you have it pulled up? And then Tyrese Maxey had 39 points. I don't know why he didn't just go for 40. Um, we had Joel Embiid shooting, just shoot. It was a good game overall. They were down by like 20 points at one point towards the fourth quarter, and they actually got back up to where I think the differential was around 9 or 10 points or something of that nature. Let me look it up real quick and pull it.
game. Let me just, while you say that, let me just drop this. This was a disgraceful game for the Philadelphia 76ers. Giannis Antetokounmpo did not play. So
Mhm.
you let a team with Damian Lillard, Kyle Kuzma, and Brooke Lopez basically
Bobby
say,
Portis, don't sleep on
yeah,
my guy
no,
Bobby
no,
Portis.
no. Basically, it just said, don't blame Joel Embiid's injuries. Even with your big three playing and starting, that's not going to solve all your problems because Damian had 43 and 8 assists. Brooke Lopez, 15 points, 8 rebounds. Kyle Kuzma, 13 points, 8 rebounds. Bobby Portis, 18 points, 13 rebounds. Gary Trent Jr., 23 points, 6 rebounds, 3 steals. AJ Green, 11 points, 4 rebounds. I mean,
I will just say that Paul George contributed nothing to this. I feel
they
like
made
if he had,
24 threes.
huh?
No, I'm saying no, my bad. I'm just saying
Oh no, you're good.
Milwaukee
You're
made
good.
20. They made
Um,
24 3-point shots.
yeah, Paul George did nothing for me. I'm sorry. I don't care how many 3 pointers or whatever he made. It didn't. It didn't give anything for me from him. it just wasn't giving. Kelly Oubre Jr., I guess he just didn't get that many shooting attempts because what's his average?
For the
And
season.
Yabusele showed out towards the end of the game, and he came through for his team. Yeah, he only had 18 points, whatever. He was coming through and he was playing and he was trying to do his best to keep his team intact.
To answer your question, Kelly Oubre averages 14 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists for the
Hmm.
season on 46% from the field. So
Okay, yeah. So it was a lot of shooting that didn't get done, but I'm pretty sure that's because Joel Embiid was also on the floor. So Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid, they had a good game. Like you said, it is disgraceful because Giannis wasn't on the floor. Um, I feel like the Bucks team needs to learn how to play without Giannis. I'm actually glad that he wasn't on the floor and that he hasn't been for the past few games because if your star player is injured, you should still be able to have a good game. And the
yep,
fact that the Bucks were still able to do all of that they did, even with Embiid on the floor catching those rebounds and just being the big man on the floor that he is. It was an impressive game, like overall. I did enjoy watching it. Bobby Portis did come through with 13 rebounds, 18 points, a double double. Um, it was cool to watch, and you had the whole crowd screaming Bobby, Bobby, talking about
yeah, he a fan
MVP,
favorite. He a
huh?
fan favorite for real. I
Nah,
said
he
he's a
is.
fan
Bobby
favorite.
Portis is a freaking beast, and I hate that people sleep on him so much. Because when he comes out on the floor, he does what needs to be done. He doesn't make stupid plays. He rarely makes mistakes. Like he does what needs to be done, and you need players like that on your team. It really helps out a lot.
He's what I like to call a professional. Like he's a
Hmm.
professional basketball player. You never have to worry about him being out of pocket. You never have to worry about him doing too much. He's always going to do his job. He knows be physical, hit the open three when it's available, get rebounds, play with energy. He's not going to try to sauce it up at the top of the key. He's not going to try to play like he Damian Lillard. He's not going to do his Giannis impression. And you need role players who know how to fucking do their job and not try to do nobody else's job and just keep doing that. And you would think it's easy, Monica. That's the funny thing about it. Like you
Hmm.
would think it's easy. You would think all players know they should play their role. But like we always say, these niggas is human. Humans do dumb shit. Um, and
No,
also,
one thing.
nobody's perfect too. No, no. I was just gonna
Well,
say
one
nobody's perfect.
thing.
So
No, like
you
one
gotta
thing that the reporter said throughout the game, right? Tyrese and Bobby had actually had some words with each other, and the reporter
bad
just said,
words.
yeah, it was words, but it didn't get serious because they're professionals. So, the reporter, one thing that he said, it was a compliment to them, Tyrese and Bobby Portis, two of the more pleasant players, in the NBA, to interact with. And the fact that he had to say that is just crazy to me. Like the fact that he had to say that they're more pleasant to interact with, like, is just wild to me because it's like, why, as people who are making millions of dollars a year, why do y'all feel like y'all don't have to be professional in this situation that you're in? Because a lot, like with Dylan the villain, he's always doing something crazy on the floor to like antsy up another person or rile them up on the team. And it's like you could play defensively without doing all that. You could crap talk, all of that. You could do all of that. But once it starts getting physical where you're grabbing people the way that he grabbed Trey Young's neck the other day, it's too much. It's too
That's true.
much. And then you're grabbing Trey Young, little Trey Young, like 6'1", little Trey Young. Like it's just a bully move. And I feel like that's also something that affected um the position today, with as far as them not throwing the ball to him because he does too much. But with Tyrese Maxey as a point guard, he also like the fact they said it's so professional because yes, he shoots like 30, 35 points a game, right? He also tries to get his team involved. He tries to move the ball around the floor, and a lot of times it's really annoying because you move the ball around the floor, and then people aren't shooting, and Yabusele's the only one making shots until Embiid comes back on the floor. So I mean, overall, like they worked together today as a team. I felt like they played well. If Giannis was on the floor, of course, like Giannis gonna get to the foul line, so it would have been a bigger blowout. But I feel like they played well together today for the most part. And I do like how he is his point guard, directs the floor. He controls the floor. And Tyrese Maxey is not, I don't feel like he's going to get the full respect that he deserves until he either has a championship with the 76ers or until he moves to another team.
Monica, I gotta be honest with you. I gotta say, fuck all that sports shit. People know you from first and foremost your love of rap music, hip hop culture. What do you think about? No, no. All jokes aside, all jokes aside, all jokes aside. I'm about to ask you a serious question. Like I'm super serious. Talk to me about that was the first hip hop, first rapper, not hip hop artist because Dr. Dre, but this is the first rapper to headline a Super Bowl. And you mentioned the Super Bowl was really black, but that was the first. He's not going to be the last rapper, but that was the first. It was Kendrick Lamar. It was right after the beef. It was a big moment in hip hop history that happened, and I want your thoughts on that. Like first reaction, we both hopped on this live pretty much an hour after the Super Bowl. So you're like, what? Like, not even if it was good or bad. I'm not asking for that, but I'm just mean like, what do you think it meant for hip hop? Where can hip hop go from here? Like all that.
I don't know where hip hop's gonna go because I feel like Kendrick Lamar is the only rapper that's actually really rapping about something that's mainstream. So I don't really have any thoughts on that because a lot of the music for me is very degrading to a
Okay.
certain extent. So I don't really have much to say about hip hop in general. I feel like if we're gonna go there, like there needs to be a change. There needs to be a roundup of these trash rappers that are out here. I don't want to hear any of it. I stopped listening to rap music for the most part. I'll turn on some Kendrick Lamar every now and then, but overall, my thing now is sports, and that's something that I'm heavily into. And the rap is, rap's cool, whatever. It's just not like something that I'm pushing anymore. Put it like that until like they round up all of these trash rappers out of here. Get them out of here. And then after that, but on
I
the
feel you.
Trapness podcast, we are going to speak more about that.
Nah, I was just curious
Hmm.
because as I was watching it, it was hard for me to it was hard for me to like even register within myself if I thought any of it was good or bad. Obviously, I thought it was good, but I was just
What
so
the
caught up in the
performance?
yeah because my mind was so caught up in the fact that the moment was actually happening in and of itself. Does that make sense? Like the
Yeah.
whole like when he did Euphoria and
Hmm.
things like that. It was just like, whoa. Like he's really playing these diss tracks. This is really
Nigga
a
said, I
hip
want
hop
to talk
moment.
about hip hop on the stream today.
Nah, nah, it's not even no. I'm not even trying not even disrespectful like that, but it's just like that's what's running through my mind and if I know like if you didn't have the podcast, I would have texted you about it anyway. You feel me? So
Mhm.
that's why I asked your opinion just because your opinion is something is somebody's opinion I would want on it.
I feel like we need more positivity in rap. I saw my guy, like I just said, my guy Halvey. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He's a white rapper. I don't know if he's Latino or white, whatever he is. He's a good artist. He is a Christian artist. He just performed at Rolling Loud. Which
A
was
Christian rapper
interesting.
rolling loud. That's
Yeah, the
interesting.
first Christian rapper to perform at Rolling Loud. It was crazy. If we get more positivity, I know everyone has everything that they're into spiritually, whatever y'all do. Okay, cool. I'm Christian. I'm Christian based. I listen to Christian music. I listen to Christian rap. It's a lot of music out here that is very slept on that nobody has ever heard because we're pushing other artists in the mainstream. And I just feel like him and it's a plethora of other artists within that community can really like they're like, "Oh, well, we're gonna be the first to have a Christian rap song actually be on the Hot 100." And I feel like if anybody could do it, it's definitely him. Whether
Okay,
he's
so
black or
you're
not doesn't matter to me because at this point, I just want to push more positivity into the community. It's a lot of people who are very sad out here, a lot of people who are very depressed, a lot of people who have a lot of mental health issues, and that's going on rampantly. And I we get to see more of it because we're raising teenagers, right? So, um, I feel like more positivity going forward. Kendrick Lamar, he's always fun. He raps about stuff that matters. He says stuff that matters in many cases. Um, it's cool that he has what his little diss song with Drake and everything, but enough of that. I don't want to hear about any more pedophiles. We've heard about enough pedophiles. I'm tired of all the Diddy moves. In all honesty, I feel like it's a dark cloud over hip hop right now. So, until we get more artists that are positive and moving in a positive direction, it's just not something that I really want to attach myself to at this moment because it's just too much going on with it. It's too many rumors, too much just disgustingness. Like too many people are just doing too much for me. And that's not how I live my life on a regular basis. Like, I'm a chill person. Everyone who knows me knows that. I don't live like that. I don't condone stuff like that. I don't support certain things. This whole like Diddy overhaul thing, like the fact that like there's people who are signing all these NDAs and they can't speak about what really happened to them and their experiences in the industry being taken advantage of is just gross to me. And I don't really feel like it's something I need to associate with just going further. Now I will tune in and hear like you told me about the Kendrick album. I didn't know he dropped the album because I've been like off the grid for real, for real. And I went and I listened to it and I did enjoy it. Um, there's certain artists I'll still turn on and listen to the album, but I'm not perpetuating myself with it constantly because I just feel like there's higher moments, there's a higher power that we need to just connect with. And it's a lot that we can achieve if we do that, especially as black people. And one thing that we need right now is positivity in our communities because that's why when he said that and I'm just like, dude, like he is black. He's on a national platform, it kind of pissed me off because it's just like he's one of the artists that does try to promote something positive in the community, So it's like to say that about him is just like weird to me. It was just like weird energy. Because if it was somebody else performing, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't say that. Shout out to DC Super Sid.
yeah. I just thought I do respect your stance on like I do respect the fact that like you don't do secular music anymore and like you've pivoted
No, I
and
still
like
listen to it. I'm more positive. Like I'm pushing positivity. Like
yeah.
is it helpful to me when I'm listening to this song? Is it helping me with anything? Because I'm telling you, I'll turn on New Jack Swing in a minute. Like, but I'm real old school with it, and I think that's because I grew up around all older brothers. So it's certain music I'll still listen to. Like I'm not completely cutting it out. It's just a lot of it is negative. Like it's a lot of killing going on, a lot of just different things. And I think sometimes we live in a bubble when we're suburban. Like I think one of my brands is Suburbians, Suburbia, Moms in the Suburbs, all of that. And you don't get to really see all of the negativity until you go outside and then you're just like, well, why would they act like that? Why would they react like that? Why would they do that? It's their circumstances, it's their environment. And it's a lot of people are in negative environments. Or we talked about this before on a Trapmas podcast where we spoke
Yeah.
about how like, like the mom down the street that like the mom and the dad down the street, they probably argue in front of their kids all the time. And it's setting bad examples for when they get older because when they're in school with other kids, understand that they act out about those things. Like whether you as parents know it or not like they do. And a lot of people are just not growing up in environments that are positive. So, I'm not going to sit here and perpetuate music that's promoting negativity and just different things like that. It's certain things Kendrick Lamar does that I don't like, I don't agree with, because I'm just like, why would you do that? Why are you showing this? Why are you creating this visual? Like, realize with TV and all this media, television is telling a vision. You're telling a vision of what you want people to see as far as the reality. So,
Tell him.
I mean, I'm
Yeah,
just
you,
saying, I'm cooking right now,
nah,
so
nah, nah.
it's
You,
like
nah,
nah,
nah. Come
literally
on, come
telling
on.
telling your
I like
vision.
it when
You're
you
telling
cut
your vision.
television and tell Bridget. Nah,
It
I fuck with
is.
it. I
That's
fuck with it. I
literally what
fuck
it
with it.
is. It's telling a
I
vision
fuck
of
with it.
what you want people to see and what you want to bring them into your reality. I don't always want to go into people's realities. So,
Yep.
you got to make a choice if that's a reality you want to go into. I don't care about that. I used to be heavily on Megan Thee Stallion. I had to stop listening because it's just like the same thing over and over again. I don't know why I thought when she went mainstream, she would change up her tone a bit, but she didn't. And it's like, cool, if that's her, fine. Do what you do. That's your life, sis. I'm not promoting women sleeping around and doing all this. I'm not promoting that because I know the mental health repercussions that come with it. Like, I know it because I talk to women every day. I talk to so many people every day. But one thing I hate is when one of my friends calls me and they're having man trouble or they're having issues like this. And I would just never like, I'm the first thing I'm like, okay, well, what's the issue? How can we work this out? Can we work through it? Do they want to work through it with you? And if they don't, that's fine. Like, go ahead and get up and leave. But, a lot of people don't want to do that. They want to stay in situations that are very negative for them, very stressful. And I know too many people in those situations for me to just continuously condone these female rappers saying the stuff that they say. It's ridiculous. Like talking about effing each other's mans and your daddy taking me shot. Like, it's just stupid. It's corny. It's dumb. And I think once you come to that realization, it's just like, all right, like what else is there? You know? But like my girl Bia posted a little clip earlier, and I was like, "Oh, all right, Bia making NFL anthems. I'm with it. I love a good sports anthem. Like I'm totally with all that. I'm just all the calling each other bitches and all that. I can't condone it. I just can't. Like I don't talk to my daughter like that. I don't want my daughter talking to her friends like that, and she doesn't. And it's just not something I'm interested in promoting anymore. So yeah, that's my take on hip hop right now. Like I said, if it's someone positive, I'm all for it. Like I'm like, yeah, push that forward, please. Like we need more positivity. It's so much negativity associated with being black, and I hate that. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I haven't thought of it from that perspective. Um, I know there's like positive messages and negative messages thrown out there. I've always just looked at it as entertainment. I've never taken it that serious to the point where it affects how I do things. But I do recognize that that's not a feeling and sentiment that's shared by a lot of people. There's some people who listen to some of the more aggressive or negative, I should say, hip hop and live negative lives. Can I blame the music? I don't think that's fair, but I will say the music does influence people's decision making.
Well, do
Because
you
they,
know any like not to cut you off, but do you know like personally any females that you personally know that are like, "Oh yeah, we need to be like these people. We need to be like that." I do. And I just be sitting here like, I don't want to bust your bubble too much, sis. So I'm a slow walk you into, getting out of that frame of mind. Like it sounds crazy. I know it sounds crazy. It's real. They be like, "Oh, well, we should do like that." But then I have a lot of friends who have common sense as well. So it kind of like it's like a balance, right? Yin and yang, a balance.
Mhm.
But I do know people who literally will say stuff like that. Like they're like, "Yeah, like we need to be like these people," and da 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 da. And I'm like, "Well, I can't be like that person because I'm not about to go to Dubai and bust it wide open, and I don't want to get pooped on." So, you know, I mean, that's the things that they perpetuate. They're like, yeah, do this, do that for money. You got Young Miami on a podcast talking about she likes getting pissed on. Where does that come from? Fetishes, weird stuff. I mean, if that's what you're into, by all means, sis, have fun. I do not agree with you promoting that to kids and things like that because STD rates are very high. Infertility rates, all of that are high. And people don't talk about that. They don't get to that. I was talking to one of my friends earlier and she was just like, a lot of people don't really like to talk about getting tested and things like that. And that's something that, like, even with me, like, if I'm in a relationship with somebody, yo, are you, like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, we talk about stuff like that. And a lot of people don't like to do that, or they like to just look to the other side, and you can't do that. You can't play with your life like that. And a lot of people are out here playing with their lives and they don't even realize it. And they're not going to realize it till it's too late. And it's just certain things, these things are being condoned on a high level, and it's really sad to watch it actually happen to certain people. And then, there's people in different classes. um I consider myself suburban. We try to learn as much as we can, but we're not out here just doing things that are and making dumb decisions, or just, it's just not, it's not, that's not what it is for some of us. Some of us are actually sending each other video like the other day, ewg.org. Um, it's a lot of chemicals and a lot of the stuff that we use on our skin and things like that, which could be causing other issues. They always say it's what you eat, it's also what you're putting on your skin. We talk about stuff like that all day. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's constant positivity. So I just don't see how I have time. Like, every now and then you might go to the club, you might be like, "Oh yeah, let's get a little ratchet." Okay, that's fine. But that's not every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not all the time. And there's people who are in that all the time. And I'm not with it.
Mhm. I'm with you on that. Well said. I don't think I can say I can't say it any better.
Hmm?
I said well said. Like I couldn't say it any
Mhm.
better.
Yeah, it's just a lot out here. I mean, like I said, it's balance, it's yin and yang. We can still have fun and everything, like somebody will come out with a stupid song. You might listen to it and be like, "Oh yeah, that's funny." Ha ha ha. Cool. But like, I'm not playing that on my playlist every day. I'm not playing that when I go anywhere. Like when I'm driving in the car, I'm not playing that. I'm just not, because I don't want those vibes on me. I went to church. The guy said we're spirits having a human experience, and I agree with that wholeheartedly.
I like that.
I like to light my incense and have like peaceful vibes. What's your thoughts
Thoughts on what?
on just overall and what I said?
Um, yeah, I like to have peaceful thoughts as well. I mean, I know it's hard for some people to do. Like I know people are stressed out with everything you see in the news. Um, and I think that's what makes sports really good because I feel like sports is like one of the last things that's really like kind of cut and dry and it's kind of fair. Like we know the parameters. Like we talk about the NBA like once or twice a week,
Hmm.
and at least you know the parameters of what can happen during an NBA week. And I think that's why people like betting on sports. There's a consistency that people gravitate towards. That when you talk about music, politics, and just a lot of things in general, stuff that people are pushing,
Hmm.
it can really be like an overload.
Yeah, and I feel like that's really fair. I used to be heavily into sports about what, 5, 6 years ago, and I kind of stopped because I'm the type that'll scream at the screen, and I kind of did that the other day, and I was like, "Here we go again." But I'm more so about just strategizing and just learning the game, and it intrigues me, like, just how the game constantly changes over time with all sports. It's intriguing to watch women's sports, and see all these women. Just like with the WNBA, I'm not heavily on it. I mean, I know some names and everything, I know some stats. Um, but just watching things just develop into something cool that's actually healthy, like for the community, like with sports, like, oh, like I'm watching sports now. Well, I need to get in shape because I really like watching sports. And, these people, they're going to live a long lifestyle because they're doing these things. Some of them get injured, whatever. But overall, I just feel like it promotes more of a positive perspective, just in the community. Like everyone has hoop dreams, right? Growing up, you're like I wanted to play basketball when I was in middle school, but all the girls were built like just they were just built, and I was just like, yeah, this ain't for me. But a lot of people got hoop dreams, and it's cool to try to live those out. You can get scholarships to go to school. There's swimming scholar. Like it's so many different scholarships you can get if you're into sports. So I just feel like it's just great for everyone overall. And I feel like we need more black representation and everything, not just the NBA, but in tennis and just all across just the world. Like, have you ever seen like black women playing pool, like on a professional level where they're actually like being streamed? Like, I don't see that. So that's an opportunity in the area that we can get into.
Yep.
You see, it's a lot we could do out here with
Yeah.
sports in general. It's a lot of sports that people don't necessarily know about unless you go to another country. Like soccer is heavy here. That's because of immigration. Like it wasn't that heavy here before. So it's a lot that can be done within that realm of the world. But it's also a lot that can be done in the art world and in the music world as well. Just like I said, what's the message? It's certain NBA players. I don't be feeling like the moves they be making because it's not positive. And people have hoop dreams and they want to be like NBA players. And just like the all the groupies and everything. Oh, I want all the groupies. No, you don't want the groupies. You don't want all that. So I mean, it's a lot that can be done within the sports arena as far as connecting like positive change into our all of our communities and resources and things of that nature.
Yeah.
Even with tech, it's a lot of tech junkies out here nowadays.
What do you mean by tech junkies?
Tech junkies, like people getting into more technology and things and trying to actually learn how to operate certain things, like just learning curves and just I listened to someone the other day. They talked about, we were talking about engineering and, different types of equipment and things like that. And they were going on and on about it. And they're just like, well, yeah, over COVID, like, I learned a lot of this stuff. And I just feel like it's cool to be a tech junkie nowadays. Back in the day, you probably would have called that a nerd. But nowadays, if you're a tech junkie, if something goes wrong with something at work, you could probably fix it. Like, we got problems out here that we need to fix. We need solutions. There's fires in LA. Like, how can we help climate change? It's so many different things we can get into. So I'm just more so on that stone. That's kind of where I'm laid at right now. Like, how can we just bring in more positivity, whether it's sports, technology, global change, just different things of that nature. And I feel like right now is like the perfect time for that because the people are trying to rise up against like big business. So yeah,
100%.
that's me.
100%.
Mhm. But yeah, think we went over all
I
the
know.
games. Oh, go ahead.
No, no, no. I said I know I took us off topic, but I think yeah,
Hmm. No, you're
I
fine.
think that sometimes on these sports podcasts, like you do see people, it's all tied in.
Hmm.
It's all tied in because sometimes the players get influenced by the media, and that also now athletes might be spreading a message, and not even on purpose. But I
You
think
said
like
what
even today,
spreading what message?
I'm not even talking a specific one. I'm just saying they could be vehicles of message spreading and
Hmm.
not even know it. But I think today, like with Jalen Hurts also winning MVP of the Super Bowl, I think he's a great role model. Him,
Mhm.
Saquon, the whole Eagles organization, and I think they just play really tough. As far as the Houston Rockets, I think they having a little skid. They won today, so that's good. To split the back to back between yesterday and today. I think they're a young team. They don't got much size at the moment, but I think they're going to gain great experience over this playoff run. Um, Philadelphia 76ers, I think, are cooked. Um, what else?
You think they're I think strategy. We sit on here and we talk about strategy all the time. It's strategic. If the coach is not working out, fire them. We need better defense. We need better offense. I don't know what the problem is with the 76ers in all honesty, because they be shooting. Well, Tyrese Maxey be shooting, but all of them be shooting. They make layups. It's just, I don't, it's strategy. It's all strategy. Like, what are we gonna do? Like, and I feel like more teams need to learn how to play more defensively. Like one thing, I was talking to my dad and he was like, quarterbacks like the Eagles quarterback, Jaden Daniels, what's his name that plays for the Ravens? What's their quarterback's name? Can't think off the top of my head. Anyway, the running quarterback frenzy, right? Now it's like if you're gonna get drafted to a team, yo, can you run the ball or are you just standing? Are you just a passing quarterback? Can you run the ball as well? Like, and I think that they're going to look at that going forward when they're drafting talent, or they're going to draft new talent and have the quarterbacks that are playing now play the backfield if they can't run and pass. So,
Yeah,
that's a strategy. That's a strategy. That's we're seeing more now, which is cool. Even Bo Nix plays for the Denver
Denver Broncos.
Broncos, and he's a running quarterback too, and he's a rookie. And I
It's
watched
like
him kind of
a
grow over
prerequisite.
the season, huh?
No, to your point, running is like a prerequisite now.
Yeah.
Like you got to be able to, like, it's not even like it used to be a luxury, but it's like, no, if you're gonna, you got to be able to run. You got to have the threat
Mm.
of being able to run.
And the good thing about the NBA is we've always had that one player, right, that can do everything. Like maybe not on every team, but throughout the league, we've always had that one player that can do everything. So just going forward, when we're drafting players on the team, okay, we need this person for this, we need this person for that. But if this person's out, can they take on this role as well? You see what
Great
I'm saying?
question.
So it's all about strategy. It's all about strategy. Are they going to be healthy all the time? Are they going to be injured? What's their diet like? What's your lifestyle like? We got to get to know you more as a person, not just, oh, well, they just play well. Okay, that's fine. Like, what else? Can you switch positions? Do you know every position? Can you read a playbook properly? Can you expand the playbook? What can you do that can bring leverage to this team that I can pay you millions of dollars to do? And that should be heavily considered going forward with all these players that are playing the bench. Like it's no reason Embiid has missed as many games as he has. It's no reason that all these players are just missing all these games. Zion and getting paid all of this money. You have to perform like at a high level. Like, and if you can't play right now, you still got to come to work. You can't be coming late. I've heard, about just in just one season, and this is always going on, but in this one season, I've heard about players just coming late to things, not appreciating the positions that they're given. What can you bring to my team that can help me where I can pay you the salary that you're needed? It's very important.
Yep,
And we,
professionalism.
yeah, And that's
Straight
in
up.
everything.
And the game's it's a better product when the players are being professional and the fans are passionate. Yeah,
Yeah, professionalism and bringing something else to the table can get you promotions at work and get you to newer heights, business wise, things like that. So, you know, I think going forward, just that's something that needs to be assessed with all athletes, no matter what sport they're in. Like you do
absolutely,
have to work hard. Sorry, that's all of us. Just like some of us got to use our brains to work, and we have to know how to do certain things. It's
absolutely.
unfortunate, but it's true. Yeah.
No,
This guy got his coffee. He's up at night working, working hard.
yeah, I'm up here. Mm.
I'm about to go do some little work too.
Yeah, I think we
But
touched on it
yeah,
all.
yeah, we touched on everything that went on this week. I don't know if there was anything else. No. Yeah, and Jared Allen, stop being a bully.
All right,
Bully nigga. But yeah, so yeah, thank you guys for tuning in to the Trapman Sportscast. I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. And yeah, I'll be back at you probably in a day or two. It's kind of off my game this week, but it's been a busy week. So yeah, thank you, Sembe, for being my guest host today.
for
Appreciate you.
sure, for
Alrighty.
sure.
I
Peace.
holla. Peace.